Hey everybody. So it's been a little while since I made some content around the concept of sleep, and I've been talking a lot with patients about this recently. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to share some of the things that have come up in our conversations that might be able to help you. I am a massive believer in the healing capabilities of our own bodies, to the point where I believe that a lot of health conditions could be dramatically improved and some could even be eliminated simply with getting enough deep sleep, enough REM sleep over an extended period of time. It's not like one night of great deep and great REM sleep is going to all of a sudden result in you not having a particular health condition. But if you can compound that over 6 months, a year, 5 years, I am a huge believer in our body's ability to heal when given that type of circumstance and scenario. Now, one of the things that patients will commonly say when I'm talking to them about sleep is that they don't think that they have any trouble with sleeping because they fall asleep easily and they don't wake up throughout the night. And so that's kind of how they're gauging their sleep quality. They don't have insomnia, essentially, is what that's saying. Now, it's obviously really important to, be able to fall asleep easily and stay asleep. However, the big question is, do you wake up refreshed in the morning? If you do not wake up refreshed in the morning, your sleep is not sufficient for the current demands of your body. Because if your sleep was sufficient for the demands of your body, you would be waking up refreshed and ready to tackle the next day because you'd be recharged, repaired, regenerated, and ready to go. And so that amount of time that is required for patients to wake up refreshed is going to be highly variable depending on what is going on throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout your life in general, what health conditions you may have. Some patients may wake up refreshed after 7.5 or 8 hours of sleep. And for them, if they're not having any issues falling asleep, staying asleep, and they wake up refreshed 6 to 7 days out of the week, then typically I'm not overly concerned about, what else can we do to optimize sleep. Now, if patients are getting 9 hours of sleep with no trouble falling asleep, no issue staying asleep, so no insomnia, but they're waking up not refreshed majority of the days out of the week. So let's say 4, 5, 6, or 7 days out of the week, they wake up groggy, tired, they wish they could sleep longer, they don't really get, energy and going until they, have their cup of coffee or things like that. Then to me, that is a huge indicator that the quality of sleep is not where it should be, right? They're getting the total time, they're sleeping for 9 hours, but not enough time in deep sleep, not enough time in REM sleep. Now, conversely, if a patient is sleeping 5 hours and waking up not refreshed, then obviously the first thing we need to do is, we need to actually sleep longer, which gives our body more time to get into deep sleep, REM sleep, and appropriately go through those stages. So that way we have a better chance of healing and recovering. So that's kind of how I talk with patients about sleep in general. Now, the big needle movers that we tend to focus on when working with patients are going to be cutting out caffeine earlier in the day. So a lot of patients are having caffeine, after lunch or even sometimes around lunch, 11, 12, which in some people might be contributing to poor sleep, even though they're going to bed 8 hours later. But everybody metabolizes caffeine at slightly different rates. And if you're a particularly slow metabolizer of caffeine, then it's possible that the coffee or the caffeine that you're having even at 12 or 11 o'clock in the morning might be impacting your sleep. So that's one thing, caffeine. The other big thing is light exposure. Like, this is a huge thing, light exposure. So yes, there's this big trend right now towards blue light blocking glasses, blue light blocking filters, all that kind of stuff. And that is a huge component of it. The other big component of it is just light in general. So even with the blue light blocking glasses, we're still exposed to some light, obviously, because you're able to see when you have those on. And in some patients, that's enough of a trigger to negatively impact sleep. And so the general recommendations that I'm usually making for my patients is going to be using a blue light blocking filter on your phone. So on the iPhone, that's night shift. On Android, that's going to be your just blue light filter. So you have that on from sunrise to sunset. You can also change the hue of the background of your screen to a red color, which does an actually even better job. If you're on a computer using something like F-Lux, which can help you, can again reduce the blue light in the evening, and you can go pretty strong with it. Or avoiding electronics altogether in the evening after sunset, or at least for 2 hours before bedtime. Wearing blue light blocking glasses, so again, that's going to filter everything that's coming in through and hitting the eyes. And yes, even if you're using a blue light filter on your phone and your computer, you still should be wearing the blue light blocking glasses, because it's also filtering stuff that's coming from the lights overhead. But those filters on your phone and your computer are not blocking 100%. And so the blue light blocking glasses do help. And then the other thing is just turning off as many lights in the home as you can, and maybe even switching to, candlelight, or switching to the actual, the red amber light bulbs, which like the old light bulbs that, when you turn them on, it's got that kind of reddish hue to them. Using those as opposed to fluorescence or LED, something like that, because the fluorescence and LED have a lot of the blue light in it, whereas the incandescent lights don't really have as much. They still have obviously some, but not as much. And so you can swap to those, which again is just going to decrease the amount of light and blue light that's hitting your face. So recapping, sleep is insanely important if you are suffering from literally any health condition, and it needs to be a priority if you are wanting to set your body up to heal. Reducing caffeine, so moving that caffeine early in the day or just cutting it down in general, can be helpful for sleep in the evening, as well as removing light and blue light from your environment, less hitting your eyes, so that way the sleep that you're getting is a higher quality. Obviously, if you're not sleeping long enough, you want to be increasing the amount that you're sleeping. Usually I'm telling patients we're aiming for 8 to 9 hours. Some patients can get away with 7.5, but that's when their sleep is optimized. Again, if you're not waking up refreshed, 7.5 hours sleep is not right for you. You're going to need more. All right, everybody, comment below. Let me know what things you have tried for sleep, what things have worked, what things haven't worked, and let's get this discussion going.